name's Angel Soliveris, and I'd like to welcome you to the show, Making a Connection in Lancaster. Today we have a very special guest. Fran Rodriguez is here today. Fran, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Angel.
Great to have you here. Fran, for the benefit of our viewers that might not know who you are, and I find it hard to believe because you're probably one of the most well-connected people that I know. Tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in Lancaster for over 20 years. My capacity currently is co-chair of the Governor's Advisory Commission on Latino Affairs. I serve on several boards within the city and county of Lancaster, and I'm just a resident of the city. I love Lancaster.
Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
Today, we'd like to discuss the Latino Empowerment Project that you're a major part of. And one of the questions that I get is, what exactly is the Latino Empowerment Project? And when did this initiative begin?
Well, it was a gift, and I always reference this Latino study that was published by Alegre Demographics and Research. George and Lillian Escobar Haskins did this marvelous Latino study back in 2007. And out of the study came a lot of program ideas, recommendations, and possible solutions for issues that the Latino community is facing. And the Alcoa Foundation, who is one of the sponsors of the study, wanted to engage Latinos more in terms of getting them into supervisory roles, mainly in manufacturing. Scott Sheely, who's the executive director of the Workforce Investment Board, thought it best that we create a program to empower Latinos in becoming more engaged in the community. And a group of about 6 of us got together and thought up of this great program geared toward doing just that. Mm-hmm. So it's a 7-week process. We get together every Saturday, and we discuss issues involving communication skills, leadership skills, and how to better engage Latinos in committees and boards and community advocacy.
Great. And this program is funded now?
It is primarily funded by the Alcoa Foundation. It was through a generous grant that they provided as a result of the Latino study, and it is ongoing. I'm tremendously grateful for the generosity of the foundation and their genuine commitment to seeing the Latino community prosper.
How often are these sessions held, and about how many Latinos would you say have participated thus far in the project?
Well, the first session began in the fall of 2009. We recruited over 25 Latino leaders in Lancaster, and they came from all walks of life. We had college students, homemakers, individuals who work for the city and county, and financial institutions. We had our second class in the spring of 2010, and that generated about a group of 20 Latinos, again from all segments of the community. Currently, our session began on March 26th of 2011, and has taken place every Saturday since then. Our last session is actually scheduled tomorrow, May the 7th.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I remember that last day because I went through the 2009, which I'll talk about in a little bit. How are some of the workshops presenters involved in the program? You had a huge amount of first class. You still have that many? Or?
Absolutely. And the presenters are all very giving leaders in our community. Again, public service means so much to both of us, actually. We give wherever we're asked to, and I'm really proud to say that we've been able to generate presenters of high caliber. They bring a level of professionalism with regard to dealing with resolving conflicts and groups. We have Ms. Charito Calvachi Mateico. We have Adrian Garcia, who speaks about the importance and relevance of Latinos becoming engaged in groups. We have Ms. Deborah Gonzalez, who speaks about understanding the Latino culture and how we are introduced to different groups. networking, we have Mr. Joe Morales, our city councilman, who speaks about getting engaged and how to kind of navigate all of the groups that we're a part of. And finally, we have a young lady from LGH, Lancaster General Hospital, who speaks on managing time, our time, and getting things done, which is, always a challenging task as we consider home life, work life, and what we do in our community. So all of our presenters bring a level of expertise and a connection to us personally, and the groups have really welcomed them.
Great. And what are some of the requirements of the 7-week program to graduate from this program?
Well, certainly we require that participants stick to the program. Giving up a half a day on Saturdays is often a whole lot to ask for of anyone. And in order to benefit from the program, you have to start and finish. Otherwise, you will have defeated the whole purpose. But we require that individuals are proficient in English, that they are residents of Lancaster, although we have attracted people from Berks County, and that they are 21 years or older.
Okay, great. And Fran, one of the goals of this project was to focus on leadership enhancement while connecting our skills and talents and aspirations, for a stronger community. Have you seen this come to fruition yet, or is it too early to tell?
I have, actually. A lot of Latinos who hear about the Latino Empowerment Project often wonder, what is this about, and how is this going to benefit me as a person? And the quick and simple answer to that is you get together with like-minded Latinos who want to engage more in the community, but also want to enhance their communication skills, how they can better their talents and skills at work, and how to become a part of committees and boards in Lancaster County. Because the bottom line is that there are tons of boards in Lancaster who make decisions on behalf of our community, but we are not well represented. And that has to change.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of, I would say a handful of Latinos who've gone through the project have actually been asked to serve as grant reviewers, have been asked to participate in local community committee work. So I see that there's a connect finally, that there's a benefit for individuals who go through this, but more importantly, that Latinos are ready to use their voices at work, at home, and in the community.
And for the leadership roles and so forth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, do you feel that the program has fulfilled its goals since it began, do you think?
I think it's an evolving benefit. We often think about what our role is in the community. And when I say we, I'm speaking of the participants. And it's only until a program is over and you're able to digest and think about, okay, where do I go with this, that you actually find that niche. And I have received emails maybe 6-8 months after from individuals saying, I took the advice of a presenter or your advice and I did such and such a thing. And so to me that is very beneficial. That is the payback of the time commitment that individuals put into this. But more importantly, that we're gathering Latinos to come together as a united group of concerned individuals. And that to me is fulfilling.
Absolutely. I know during the first class that I attended, we had a great group of people. And I see them all the time, and we reflect back and forth about the classes that we took. Tell me a little bit about the makeup of the current class.
The current class is unique in that there are 3 married couples, and that was not planned by any stretch of the imagination. They each registered together, and we have a young lady from Berks County who works at Penn State at the Berks County branch. And I can say that the entire group, the makeup, has someone from Peru, someone from Colombia, somos puertorriqueños, y un dominicano.
Okay.
That in itself speaks so loudly, because one of the myths that we want to dispel within the mainstream society is that Latinos are not just one face.
Right.
We come with so much culture and so many experiences, and that is what the LEP class brings now. We all have very different views and opinions.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like the Asians. You know, if you're Chinese, you don't want to be called Korean.
Absolutely.
Or Japanese and so forth. That's funny, though. After this session ends, what happens next? Is there a celebration, a graduation? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, you know, first of all, this program is free to anyone that wants to register. And a lot of people think, how in the world am I going to benefit from something that's free and it's for 7 weeks? We provide a very formal letter from the Workforce Investment Board so that individuals can actually share this with their employer if they'd like, indicating that they've been accepted for this 7-week program. And the graduation ceremony happens actually this year on Friday, May 20th. It will be held at the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. Participants are welcome to come in with their families. It is usually a big to-do. People come out, get dressed, we have a nice dinner, and everyone is presented with a certificate of completion, which again serves as a valuable piece that individuals can share with their employer to speak of this, you know, great program that they've participated in.
That's great. You know, one of the things that I like that you guys are doing also is that you're including the alumni from past classes and so forth to come and, you know, talk and have exchanges with the current class.
Yes.
And I think that's always a good thing. So this is your 3rd class, and I think that I'm starting to see that pandemic that we talked about in that first class in a good way, because pandemics are usually, you know, they are something that is usually bad or like a disease or something, but this is actually a good pandemic to talk about.
It is, absolutely.
I know firsthand that this is a wonderful program because, you know, I'm proud to be a graduate of the first class, and I remember having a great experience, you know, during that class.
Good.
So, I have to tell you that I didn't miss one class because of the presenters that you guys would bring in, and I hate missing out on a good presenter. So I was always, you know, to me, seven Saturdays that you go to attend something that's going to benefit you, I think is a positive thing. There were rumors that the reasons why the attendance was so good is because of all the great food that you and Scott Sheely would provide, which is one of the things that we don't talk about often enough, because that does bring people, you know, and commit them to something. If they know they're going to get educated, they're going to get fed and have a good time.
Absolutely.
And that's a good combination. But I'm glad that you talked me into it, and Allison Weber's another one that kind of pushed me to take this class. And at first I was a little reluctant, but afterwards I really did appreciate it. You know, after taking the class, I felt proud, motivated, and more focused in my own job and other things that I was doing. So I appreciate that. So I came away after graduating from that class with a stronger sense of purpose, I have to say. And I think people that take this class will find the same. I'd like to thank you, Scott Sheely, and the Acoho Foundation for that opportunity. I don't know if I ever got a chance to thank Scott directly. So when does the next session start after this one that ends?
Well, I suspect that we will generate a new class in September. I hope to. And certainly if there are viewers who are interested in learning more about this, they can contact you or me. My phone number is 475-4597, and we welcome anyone who is interested in taking part in this. There is nothing more rewarding than having Latinos come together, not only to listen and learn, but to communicate within the group and pick up from one another things that we have in common. because we are often so divided in our communities, and that has to stop.
Right. And I'd like to also point out that the presenters, they're not all Latinos. We had people from all walks of life.
Absolutely.
That presented for these classes. And that was, I think, a connection between mainstream and the Latinos. And we needed that, and I'm glad that you guys were able to work that out. So what's the exact process that people have to do? You said, can you go over that part of it again? Basically, that you need to fill out an application. I don't think you brought one with you today, but if they're interested in that, they could get it either from you or from me.
Yes. And the application is, it can be a little intimidating. It's just a one page, provides just the basic information about themselves. And they have to answer 3 questions about themselves, primarily focusing on, what do you consider to be a leader in your community? And what aspirations do you have for maybe the next 5 years? Those are big questions. Absolutely. But it kind of opens up the mind to thinking, gee, maybe at the conclusion of this program, I will have obtained and achieved those things that I want to.
Right. And we've got to say, it's not just for political office. I mean, leaders come from all walks of life. And I know a lot of people think that this is just for if you want to become a politician or whatnot, but it is not correct.
It is absolutely not. I mean, certainly a lot of the informal discussions that we've had have touched upon the fact that there are not enough Latino representation within local boards in politics. And those are talking issues, talking points that we have really brainstormed about. But more importantly, leaders are everywhere. Leaders are, are homemakers. They are people who are crossing guards. They are individuals who have a task in life. And it's not about a title. It's about who you are and what you bring to a community.
Yeah, that's true, and I can't agree more with that statement. Is Norman still coming in and doing his little appearance?
Absolutely. Norman is a common thread throughout LEP, and he is one of the first motivational speakers that we begin with, because we want to, make sure that we begin on a high note.
Absolutely.
And he has given his appearances throughout the session, so I'm grateful to.
And if anybody can key you up and get you going, it's
absolutely,
Norman.
yes.
We've also had Carlos Guapera come in and do his thing, and I found it interesting when he came to talk to our group. Some people say, "Oh, so that's who Carlos is," because they hear so many things about him,
right?
And all the things that he's involved with in our community and stuff. So it's good to have these leaders come in so people can actually put a face to the name.
Absolutely, and likewise with regard to the voices that Latinos have in this community, it's more about individuals gaining confidence and going out there and doing things versus having to read about our community leaders in the paper or in some report. Yes. So that's another benefit of the program.
Okay, Fran, so if there's anyone out there that would like to participate in this project and get more information about the project, what information do you have?
Well, right now, individuals that are looking to participate in, again, 7 weeks of training on a Saturday from 9 to 1 p.m., probably starting mid-September, should reach out to me. My phone number is 475-4597, or they can call the Workforce Investment Board office at 735-0335. And we can begin to talk about what the program entails, whether or not they're comfortable with it, and they can start making the commitment now.
Okay, and that first session is it's a fun session because
it is extremely.
What goes on that first session?
Well, the orientation session is about us talking about the Latino study and why this came to be, why this 18-month process was important to Lancaster, especially with regard to the voices that are included. And we have the participants begin thinking about a personal mission statement. So you have to create more or less what you see yourself doing maybe within the next 5-10 years. And that takes some time to really think about what is it that I want to do.
Yeah, I remember that when I went through the class, my first impression of it was that it was well done and it was very professional. And I'm thinking about, as we sit here, about the presenters and stuff, and the one presenter that I wish we would have had more time with was, and I'm trying to remember her name, you probably know her name, the lady from LGH.
Jacqueline Ortiz.
Jacqueline Ortiz,
yes.
Yeah. I was really really impressed by her approach and her knowledge of how the business world works.
Right.
And I always wanted to see her again and have her, come back and maybe do an extra class or something.
Actually, you mentioned that. A lot of the participants wish that there was more time to network with either the motivational speakers or the presenters, because we're on a very strict timeline on Saturdays, and I'm a stickler with timing. We have to stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
However, I think that wanting presenters to come back is a good thing, because it may lead to even increasing the classes, like we spoke about earlier.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I know it's hard when especially on a Saturday and you're taking up people's time and so forth, and even though this is for their benefit and stuff, and you don't want to cross that line where you're keeping them longer than you have to. But I think if you give them an opportunity and ask the class from here on out, is there any presenter that you guys would love to have a follow-up with, and start trying to get that information out there, and they will themselves say, yeah, I would love to see this person or that person come back and talk to us.
Certainly. Yeah. We will keep that in mind, especially because there's so much information in one Saturday that a presenter can, complete in a matter of an hour.
Right.
And everyone is very enthused and happy to meet them, and then they go away and they don't see them again till next year or something like that.
Well, thanks, Fran, again. I want to thank you for coming in and helping us to make the connection here in Lancaster.
My pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure having you here today, and I hope to see you again in the near future. I know we are involved in different things and whatnot, and we have the Adelante con Fuerza thing that we need to talk about.
That's another big project coming up.
Absolutely, and we're going to continue doing that, and I hope you'll come back and talk to us about that as we get closer to that date. So I hope you have continued success in your other projects. And again, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, my friends. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and I would love to continue this conversation with Fran, but she has to go and I have to go. So I look forward to seeing you again, because it's very important that we get these projects and this information out there to the public so they're able to take advantage of these wonderful programs that are in our community. So please stay tuned for more interesting topics in the weeks ahead, and right here on Making the Connection in Lancaster on Central TV. Thank you and have a great day.